UNO, big win last night out at the lakefront, beating Northwestern State out of Natchitoches. Big win, 82-64. UNO now 12-10, but most importantly, 9-2 in the conference, leading the Southland Conference. And pleased to be joined by UNO men's basketball coach, Mark Slessinger. Hey, Mark, appreciate the time. Just right off the bat, assess what you saw last night. You had to be pretty pleased considering you guys played the Demons a couple of games ago. It was a little closer game, and last night it seemed like you guys were able to take care of business on the home court.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a minute to come on. Yeah, it was good. We had a good atmosphere in beautiful lakefront arena, and we had a weird quirk in the schedule where we played, them twice in a week, and so it was a very short turnaround, and you tried not to show all your cards the first game because you knew you had them a week later in the second one, and the guys really showed up and played, and they've been fun to coach, man. To have 8 new guys and to see them come together quickly, and they're just playing really, really unselfishly, and good team basketball right now. They're a lot of fun to coach.
Coach Jim Derry here. Talk a little bit about how we know that your non-conference schedule was as tough as anyone's in the country, and just talk a little bit about how that's paid off now, and a lot like it did last year, and going 9-2 in conference so far this year. But playing all those tough games, and a lot of them on the road, or most of them on the road. Just talk about what it's done for you now.
Well, it's kind of like when you go on that crazy diet and the crazy workout plan, and it just sucks, while you're going through it. But then, like, you actually can fit that pair of pants you hadn't worn in about 6 years, and you think you look pretty cool. That's kind of what it's like. It's just miserable when you're in the midst of it. We're fighting, and it was the 11th toughest non-conference schedule in the country, and we're going out and playing tough game against great coach every night, and we're playing really good strings of minutes, but we just weren't mature enough yet and hadn't gelled enough yet to get over the hump and win those. And it just was a battle. It was a great coaching lesson and battle for me and the staff to just really find new ways to push buttons to get these guys to not believe in what we were doing, and to have a believability factor that we were a good team and could win, just because we lost 8 of those games, and to just keep grinding and keep seeing the big picture, and then for it to come together and these guys really get clicking. Once we had gotten some time together, it's been fun. And we've got the toughest road to finish in these next 7 of any team in our league. It rates out not even close to the toughest toughest schedule the rest of the way. But I think that's good for us as well. If we can close this thing out in these last 7, I think it'll really prepare us for the tournament as well. So I think each of these challenges are for a reason, and us as coaches have to figure out ways to make it work. Coach Payton didn't have the easiest of schedule to start this season this year, and it worked out pretty good for the Saints.
Coach, not to show my age or anything, but I covered UNO back in the days of Coach Floyd, and he used to do the same thing. He'd play a bunch of really tough teams, Arizona, Notre Dame, all sorts of tough teams, and it actually helped not just build for that season, but really helped build the program. Is that what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, it's always been. We've always. I've always felt it's important for us to, especially everything we went through 7, 8 years ago when I first got here. I've always felt it's important for us to get the university brand back out on the national stage, and the easiest way to do that is to go play as good a schedule as you can. I think it's important for people to know that, hey, everything's okay here, and we're still educating people at a high rate. Our city is healthy. Our city is doing things moving forward. And so, in twofold: one, it's good for our program, good for our kids. But then, the part about people understanding that things are good at UNO, contrary sometimes to media reports and things that come out. Hey, things are okay. I still remember reading some articles 3-4 years ago that we're going to close the doors, and I mean those didn't exactly come to fruition. We're still educating people here at a high rate and doing a heck of a job at it, we're the educational engine of the city, whether some people like it or not, and I like it because I know that it's a hell of a backbone to have.
UNO men's basketball coach Mark Slessinger joining us right here on Dunc Holder. Last night, Trayvon Thibodeau, 21 points. But then I look at the minutes played, and you guys went 10 deep, really, almost 11 deep. Just your depth on your team. How much do you kind of tap into that? Because obviously last night, a lot of guys got a lot of minutes.
Well, last year's team was a little different from where we've been in our other years here, where, we were really only 7 deep, maybe 7.5 deep last year, and with that championship team and NCAA tournament team. And this year we've got more depth, and over the last 4 or 5 games we've really tried to spread the minutes out, getting Scott Plaisance back from the Country Day product, getting him back at Christmas as a transfer. Really allowed us to give Thibodeau and McCourt a little bit of a breather and then not have to carry such heavy load minute-wise. And he's done really well in helping give us a boost. But I think in this last stretch, I think that the sacrifice we've made in getting a lot of guys minutes is going to pay off, because it's given them opportunities to get better in game situations and to really where it'll be the next man up. And we've put some weird combinations together and had a lot of success. And we'll have some guys that we don't think are going to help us win games in these next 7. That'll probably be the difference in us having a chance to win another championship.
Mark, one more, and we'll let you run here. You guys are taking on Nicholls State on Saturday. They're 7-2 in the conference. You guys are 9-2 in the conference, leading the conference. And all you do is you got to look at Stephen F. Austin 7-2, Sam Houston 7-3, Southeastern 7-3. It's jam packed. So obviously, this Nicholls game is going to be a start of a pretty significant run for you guys.
It's a major game for us. We're hoping we get a great crowd out. People take a little Mardi Gras break and come out and watch us. The women are tip at 2. We'll go at 4:15 and get some great fan support here, like we've been growing our base. And it's a huge game for us. To be able to get this one would really give us a real true 2-game lead on some people going into that bye for us on Wednesday, where hopefully we can watch some other teams play and us be able to sit and watch maybe a team or 2 lose that would help us. But it's a huge game for us, and hopefully we get another great crowd out here in Lakefront Arena and enjoy the atmosphere and watch our team play. They're a lot of fun and they're very entertaining to watch.
UNO men's basketball coach Mark Slessinger. Again, 4 o'clock tip will be on Saturday at the Lakefront Arena taking on Nicholls State, and the women will be tipping off around 2. So if you want to go see some good college basketball, because the women's team's playing as well, head out to the Lakefront this Saturday. Hey Slash, appreciate you jumping on the show, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having us.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it. All right, that's Coach Mark Slessinger. And sorry, Clyde.
No, you literally were going to ask the exact same question I was going to ask.
I know.
Which is literally about how good the Southland has been this year. Because you look at how stacked that really top with UNO right now, going all the way down.
Look at Stephen F. Austin. They're 18-4. They beat LSU, and they were a tournament team last year.
Stephen F. Austin has been the class of the league for a very long time. Sam Houston State's also been good. But you look at that, and you look at where the Southland has progressed from really a few years ago to where it is now. That parity is there, which makes the basketball so good to watch. And it also means that you're going to have a lot of teams that are going to be in contention. I was actually talking to the radio guy for Northwestern State last night, and even he was saying the parity in this league is unlike a lot of people who follow the Southland and who watch the Southland have seen in a very, very long time, which means that whoever wins the regular season, be it UNO, maybe be somebody else, it's really going to go, all that stuff's going to go out the window once everybody gets to Katy, which is where the conference tournament is. Because once you get to Katy and once that conference tournament starts and tips off, the best team that's going to be in that may not be the number 1 seed. It might be a 5 seed, maybe the 6 seed. might be the 8. You don't really know, but it's going to make for an interesting end to the college basketball season to see who will be the representative out of the Southland to go to the NCAA tournament.
I'm just glad we're talking about relevant college basketball around this area again.
To go back to Stephen F. Austin, just looking at their schedule, I mean, they beat LSU by 1, but, 2 of their losses, they lose to Mississippi State, but they only lose by 5, and they lose to Missouri on the road by 1. I mean, so that
they're legit tournament.
They really are.
In and out every year. Every year they schedule well. Every year they're a contender in all of those games because they recruit. Stephen F. Austin, for those that don't know, Stephen F. Austin, which has produced lots of coaches, back to Danny Casper, who is at Texas State, Brad Underwood, who is now at Illinois, but he left Stephen F. to go to Oklahoma State, and then now is at Illinois. They've produced quality coaches. They've been able to recruit. If you've ever been to Nacogdoches, Texas, it's amazing how they've been able to do it because it is literally in the middle of East Texas in the Piney Woods. It is.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's an interesting location, and the fact they've been able to recruit such high quality basketball players in the Southland Conference to win the conference. They have a
Jack in the Box there.
They do have a Jack in the Box there. Yeah, they do have a Jack in the Box among other things.
That's a reason.
Among other things that you can go there and see. But seriously, the Stephen F. Austin has been really the bell cow, as we saw a couple years ago with them winning games in the tournament and getting to the Sweet 16. So maybe you'll have another one this year from maybe one of the Louisiana schools, and that's also a good thing. Louisiana basketball has upped its ante really well.
UL Lafayette, top RPI in the state right now. So, yeah, absolutely. So hour number 1 is up. Hour number 2 is on the way. All-Pro guard, Saints Hall of Famer Carl Nix will jump on the show next. So come on back. Hour number 1 is up. Hour number 2 on Sports 1280, NOLA.com, and the iHeartRadio app. Jim Derry's here, Clyde's here, Dave's there, I'm here. We're all Dunc Holder.